Amanda, I want to play a game.
Hey horror freaks, welcome back to my channel. My name is Amanda. As you can see from the title, today's video is going to be my full review with spoilers of The Substance. What has been called the best horror movie of the year is finally here, and this is one of my most expected films of the year. So excited that I got the chance to watch this in theaters. And as always, all my reviews are with spoilers. If you don't want them, just to see if this was worth it or not, in the description box down below, there you're going to find my spoiler-free review, because I'll let you give you guys the two options. Given that quick disclaimer, let's get into the video. Now, The Substance follows a fading celebrity that decides to use a black market drug, a self-replicating substance that temporarily creates a younger, better version of yourself. The film is directed by Coralie Fargeat and stars Margaret, Qualley, Demi Moore, and Dennis Quaid. The film has a running time of 2 hours and 20 minutes, and to give a brief summary, the film follows the story of Elizabeth Sparkle, that is portrayed by Demi Moore. She is a popular actress and currently has a TV aerobics show. On her 50th birthday, she gets fired because she's getting old, and the studio is looking for a better, younger, and beautiful person to do her job. That same day, she has a car accident, and while she's on the hospital, the nurse that is with her tells her that she is a perfect candidate. For what? She has no idea. But when she arrives home, she finds on her coat a pen drive that says The Substance. When she watches the content, is a video talking about this black market drug called The Substance. What this basically is going to do is that it's going to replicate cells and it's going to create a better and younger version of yourself that is going to hatch from yourself. And the rules are simple. You need to inject yourself with a one-time use activator, and you're going to turn yourself into the Matrix. You're going to hatch a better, younger version of yourself, and that new version has to extract fluid from you and has to inject a small doses every single day for 7 days. When the 7-day mark comes up, you need to switch, because at the end you are one. You cannot coexist together. While one is sleeping, if we can call it that way, the other one is out in the world. They don't look alike, but they have the same conscience. And at first, Elizabeth is not so sure about this, but since she's dealing with low self-esteem, getting older, and everything that comes with it, she decides to go through with it. She does the call, she picks up the package, we see the whole process and how she hatches the new version that is portrayed by Margaret Qualley, and she is going to be known as Sue. Now Elizabeth as Sue, she goes to the studio and auditions for the role that Elizabeth was fired. She becomes a racing star. But by the end of the week, they need to switch. And Elizabeth feels worse than ever. She feels lonelier. She only wants to be in her younger body. She is not coping well. When she returns to Sue, she becomes happier. But Sue one night decides that she wants to extend her moment in that body a little bit longer than the 7 days. And when they switch again, Elizabeth's body starts to age more quickly than it's supposed to be, because everything that you take from the Matrix cannot be turned back. So essentially, if she keeps taking from Elizabeth, she's going to make her look like an old woman and like a raisin. Guess what? That is exactly what happens. Sue decides that she's going to take enough fluid from Elizabeth to keep up for almost 3 months every single day, instead of making the switch every 7 days. But when the 3 months passes and Sue is about to be hosting the New Year's Eve show, she runs out of the fluid, and because she needs to switch, that is what creates more fluid. Elizabeth is basically almost dead, so she needs to switch for a few moments so that she can create some fluid so she can switch back to Sue. When Elizabeth wakes up after being 3 months in that state, she's a completely different woman. She has a hunchback, she doesn't have hair, she looks like an old crazy lady. She calls the person that is behind this, because we never know who he is, and she asks for this to end. She gets delivered the Terminator, and she has to inject that in Sue and everything will be over, but she will never get back how she was. Now she's an old woman, but when she's in the middle of doing it, she backtracks and she brings back Sue to life. And this is the first time that we see them awake at the same time. Sue gets pissed, so she kills Elizabeth in rage. She doesn't really know what she's doing. She realizes a little bit too late that it's going to be a problem, the fact that Elizabeth is dead. She leaves to the studio because she needs to get ready for the night. This is when things start to get bad. First, she starts bleeding from the nose. Then her teeth start to fall out. Then an ear fall out. This is when she has a not so brilliant idea. She goes to her apartment when she's supposed to be on the studio, and she uses the single-use activator. She thinks that she can do the process again, but that is not what happens. She hatches what is called Monstro Elisa Sue. It's a mix between Elizabeth and Sue. Elizabeth's head is like on the back, and we have Sue, but she's deformed and now she looks like a monster. She still puts herself into the dress and she gets to the studio and to the stage, but everyone freaks out because she looks like a monster. We have a whole bloodbath. She gets her head cut off, but a new head comes out even worse. She goes to the street, she falls, and she explodes. And what we see at last is Elizabeth's head moving on the floor, and she's on the Walk of Fame. And something that we saw at the beginning is her star on the Walk of Fame. So she puts herself into it, like laying. We only see her head, like flesh around it, and that monster dies on top of Elizabeth's star. And the next morning, she gets scrubbed by a machine. And that's how the film ends. So getting into the review, probably by hearing that think that this film is weird as hell. It is. I want to start by saying, if you don't like body horror, if you don't like films that make you feel uncomfortable, that are overwhelming, that are full of nudity and close-ups and things that can be considered disgusting, this is not the film for you. If you like films like Titan, Possessor, and Infinity Pool, then you are for a ride because you're gonna have a blast. But if you didn't, or you don't enjoy films like that, this is not going to be the film for you, because I feel that this is the type of film that you 100% need to know what you're getting yourself into. I can see people getting out of the theater. At least in my showing didn't happen, but I did heard some women talking about how they were expecting something completely different because they didn't look for what the film was. They just read the plot and that was it, and they were expecting the film to be completely different, and that's completely valid. But that can make the experience for good or for worse. So watch the trailer, investigate a little bit, because this film is not for everyone. I myself, I enjoy body horror. I like Titan, I like Possessor, and I semi-like it Infinity Pool. I remember not hating it, but not loving it either. But positive things. I really like it, the story. Something that I like it is how they treat a topic that can be simple, but they decide to go deeper on it, and is how Hollywood treats women when they get old. Because this is something that does happen. When women get old in the industry, they start to lose their jobs, or they find it a little bit harder for them to get jobs. And I feel that Demi Moore is a great example. She's not only an amazing actress, but she's a beautiful woman. She has a long career, but unfortunately, she has been criticized by how she's aging, and in my opinion, she's aging gracefully. But this is something that we see a lot. Women getting criticized by how they age, when that is something that is going to happen for everyone. So I feel that they took the right actress for it. She actually reflected about that and how much value she used to give to her physical appearance and her body. She talked about that on recent interviews because of the movie. And I feel that they managed that perfectly. As someone like me, this is something that I have never talked about, but I have dealt with self-esteem and self-image issues for a long time. I was bullied in middle school because of my physical appearance, and the impact that it had in my life it was so strong and so deep that I still carry that. I still have issues with my physical appearance, with how I look, and my flaws, and all of that stuff. And seeing that on a movie, I feel that I could connect with it, although I am not a celebrity. I would love to look as good as Demi Moore when I am older, but as a woman and as someone that can relate a little bit, it made me enjoy the movie quite a lot. From the start, the cinematography is amazing. It makes you feel uncomfortable because how much close-ups it has, to the point that you feel that you're there, like on their mouths and on their faces. And it's a little bit overwhelming, especially with Dennis Quaid character. Oh my god, that man was disgusting. But that was the whole point of it, and he played it perfectly. He was the right man for the part. The cast did a fantastic job, in general speaking. Margaret Qualley, she did such a fantastic job as Sue, the fresh meat on the industry, and she just wanting to be a star on the center was amazing. And she looks stunning. Her body is amazing. You will see a lot of her body. And also Demi Moore here. Sound effects, they align with the cinematography and the shots to accentuate the overwhelming feeling. The music, I really like it. It's not what you could be expecting on the story, but I think that it fits. The costumes, I really like them. Something that can be noticed is that has a lot of influence from the 80s. When they are doing the aerobics TV show, it reminds you to Jane Fonda because of the bodysuits. And I thought that was pretty cool to use the 80s aesthetic and doing a combination with modern times. Body horror and the practical effects are stunning. The makeup that they do on Demi Moore when she is getting older and older, and then when she has even a hunchback and she is this old lady that doesn't even have hair by the end, impressive. I was so surprised by how realistic it looked, and when they turned into the monstrous Sue, I was like, whoa. Makeup department here did such a fantastic job. The body horror is grotesque, is disgusting. It makes you like your skin crawl even a little bit, but it's perfectly done. When it comes to the script, I think that was good. The story has a good pace, although it's 2 hours and 20 minutes. I think that what people would criticize the most is the ending that can feel a little bit dragged out. Just a little bit, or maybe a little bit weird. But at the end, this is not only body horror, but it's also satires. And it has some funny moments or humor. And even at the end, some moments that can make you laugh. So it's a combination. But still, the ending is bizarre. The film gets weirder and weirder and weirder. It never stops. At some moments I was like, what the hell I am watching? Is that type of film, the type of film that, what? Because when you think that things can get weirder or worse, they do. I really like it that the film is not predictable. Those first 30-40 minutes can be a little bit, but that is because it's the plot. You're seeing Elizabeth getting fired and then doing the process of the substance. That's what we know that is going to happen. What we don't know is how she's going to deal with it and the aftermath. How is Sue going to react and the ending? Because Elizabeth dies by hands of Sue, and then Sue dies and she creates this new version and that also dies. So they did not survive at all. A scene that I really like it and that resonated a little bit with me is when Elizabeth is getting ready for a date. But when she goes out and she's about to leave, she sees a billboard that has Sue on it, because Sue is a star right now and she's everywhere. And we can see how she starts to lose her confidence on herself because she's doing this comparison with Sue. So she returns to the bathroom, she puts a scarf on her neck, she changes the makeup, she changes the hair, and then leaves. She sees the billboard again, and she returns. And she starts changing again her appearance. She wants to make it look better. She ends up not going to the date, and she has a breakdown. The reason why I say that it resonates with me is because I have been in that position of not comparing myself to a billboard, but getting ready, look at myself into the mirror and thinking, no, this is not it, this can be better, this can be fixable. And then when I'm ready, look at myself into the mirror and not liking what I am seeing because I am comparing myself with what nothing specific, maybe just something that I saw on the internet, maybe the inspiration that I took for the outfit or the makeup, but it's something that has happened to me quite a few times. I see myself and I don't like what I see because I am doing that comparison. Doing comparisons of yourself with other people shouldn't be the norm. That is harmful, that is not good. At the end, comparing yourself with others and what you see on the internet is not good. I know that, but still it's a little bit hard for me. So when she did that, I saw how she was losing her confidence and she looked great at the beginning. But unfortunately, that happens a lot. You see yourself and some people may think, oh my god, you look great, you look gorgeous, but because your mind is so damn strong, maybe you're thinking, no, I don't look good. And I have changed outfits before, I have changed my makeup, my hair, because I don't like the way I look. And then when I see myself, it's like I look at way better at the beginning. So that's why I feel that they manage very well all that message of self-image, self-esteem, and how at the end we should stop not only comparing ourselves with others, this is not a competition, but also that we are good as we are and we are enough and we need to love ourselves. This may look a little bit of a stretch, but that's what I interpreted of the movie. I don't have nothing negative to say. For me, this was such an experience. I am so glad that I was able to watch it in theaters. So is this the best horror movie of the year? I don't know for anyone else, but at least for me, this is my first 5 out of 5 and 10 out of 10 of the year. I don't see any flaws in it. I loved it from the beginning to the end. This is my top 1 so far. So far, because I think that the only thing that could top this is Nosferatu, that is coming in December. But so far, this is my favorite horror movie of the year and my top 1. The top 2 will be Longlegs and top 3 will be Infested. But so far for me, this is my best horror movie of 2024. Like I said, I cannot top by anyone else. I know that a lot of people is hyping this movie, but I feel that it's justified because it does deserve the hype. The cast was amazing. They all did fantastic jobs. The practical effects were amazing. Cinematography, sound effects, production, the script, everything. I don't see any flaws. I don't see anything bad with it. So if this is what you like, go and watch it. If not, then stay away from it because you're not gonna have a good time. So once again, 5 out of 5, a 10 out of 10. This is indeed a film that I would love to rewatch. And with this, I end the video. Thank you so much for watching. Let me know down below your thoughts. If you liked this film, maybe you didn't. Let me know how it was for you. And thank you so much for watching and waiting because this one came a little bit later than usual. I apologize. I got some trouble with watching the film when I was supposed to. That was Thursday, so I ended up watching it Saturday. But here you have it. And thank you so much for watching. And I will see you guys on my next video. Bye.
Game over.